What's been going on since our last visit a couple weeks ago?
So recently, I've been feeling like I haven't been able to make meaningful connections, and particularly for my program, I feel like that's kind of hurting my career, and especially after going to a conference, I feel like I really need to work on like my social skills.
Okay. So, how would that look in like your classroom setting?
So currently I work in a lab in my university, and oftentimes whenever I see my peers, I get really like nervous, and whenever I think of wanting to talk to them, even after like making a script in my head, I feel like my voice choke up and like a knot feel in my throat, and I start like shaking. Um, and then even if I try to say something out loud, it almost comes out as like a whisper, or I just don't say anything at all and then put my head down and then just walk away.
Sounds like I'm getting a lot of fear from you. Um, what happens when you, like, what goes through your mind when you make the script in your head and then you ultimately decide not to say hi to them?
So I like see them and then I kind of make like a script in my head, like being like, hey, how are you? Like, how's everything doing? But after that, I like start choking up and then I'm like, I don't know, like either whisper it or I don't say anything at all because I feel like they can tell like I'm like really nervous and then they might think I'm like pathetic or like a loser, I guess.
Have they ever used a word like pathetic or called you a loser?
Well, no, but I don't know. It's just like what I think of in my head. Like they haven't outright said it, but that's how sometimes I feel. Or like I feel like um, everyone kind of like isolates themselves from me because I'm not able to like have a conversation with them. And yeah, like I feel like I'm pushing everyone away, so they instinctively just kind of ignore my presence.
That sounds really stressful. So, when you say that you have um, thoughts of isolation and you feel really isolated, um, why do you think that you feel like you can't talk to them? What would make you what prohibits you from talking to them?
I guess it's just mostly my self thoughts. Ever since I was younger, I've always had that kind of problem. Like in middle school and high school, I didn't really have friends or any meaningful connections with anyone. And I know back then it was because of my insecurities as a teenager, but now that I'm older, it's kind of embarrassing that I'm acting like this at my age.
Hmm. That sounds really like hurtful as a child. You know, when you had like um, those times where you felt alone when you were a kid, but you aren't in that space anymore. I mean, you're getting your bachelor's, you're almost done. Do you have any close, meaningful connections that you have today?
Um, Now I've been able to make some friends and they mean a lot to me, but it definitely took a lot of effort, not only from my side, but from their side as well. And I'm really appreciative just because there was times when I kind of just try to isolate myself from them because I thought maybe they didn't really actually want to be my friend or they weren't gonna like the real version of me. And so, yeah, I tried pushing everyone away, but thankfully they put in effort, and I kind of just decided to be friends with them.
It sounds like you have some really great friends. It sounds like they're giving you a lot of grace. Um, like when you had said that you feel like it's a lot of effort from you, but it's also a lot of effort from them. How can you give yourself that same grace to when you're making new friends?
I guess I should stop like overthinking and putting words into other people's mouths, or like instantly like thinking that they're gonna think I'm like pathetic or like think anything negatively of me, because I'm not sure if that's even true or not.
Hmm. It's a really good idea. So how could you do that? Let's say, for example, with a classmate walking down the hallway.
Mm, I guess just try to like relax and not let my thoughts kind of take over,
Mm-hmm.
and even just like trying to say hi would be like a start.
Okay. So let's go back. So when you are having feelings of nervousness, do you have those feelings anywhere else besides in a school area, like at home or anywhere else?
Mm, I guess at home, growing up, my parents didn't necessarily allow me to like express myself very well, and they also kind of instilled in my mind that um, it's better to be alone rather than make friends, because friends could hurt you. And so I feel like a lot of those feelings started like from that period in my life, and yeah.
That sounds really hard from those formative years where you really need that social interaction. What usually helps you calm down in times where you feel like you're really nervous or you need to calm yourself down?
I feel like breathing definitely helps me a lot, like taking deep breaths or even counting, like sometimes to 10, or yeah, anything like that kind of helps stop like the shaking as well as like the knot from forming in my throat.
Okay, so how could we use what you just told me um, and use it for interactions with your peers at school?
Mm, I guess whenever I see them in the hall, I can like try to not let my thoughts take over and take deep breaths, and just try to like calmly like say hi to them or try talking to them,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, basically not letting myself get worked up.
Yeah, because when you have those like automatic thoughts of they think that I'm pathetic and they think that I'm a loser, it would be pretty hard to talk to them if you think that they're gonna say that. But instead of when you have those thoughts, we could redirect it and instead take a deep breath, or like you had said, count to 10. That would be really helpful. So maybe before the next time you come to a session, maybe you could try with just one person. Um, you can pretend like you are talking to them, or you can actually do it, but just say hi. Um, so before you talk to them, and before you make a script, and before you have those negative self talk, you could take a deep breath, count to 10, and then just say hi, and then from there we can see how that goes, and if that doesn't go well, then we can try something else. How does that sound?
I think that sounds very good, a good start.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Well, then that's your homework, and next time we can try something else.
Thank you.